This is the plaintiff, Adara. She says she designed a line of clothing and she hired the defendant to take pictures to promote it on social media. Unfortunately, she and the defendant had a disagreement, and the nasty lady deleted all the photos she took. That's not fair. And she wants the $975 she's owed and is suing for it today. This is the defendant, Avi. She says she was supposed to get a photo credit on any photos posted to social media. But then the photos were reposted to a different account, and she wasn't tagged in the caption. When she brought it up, the plaintiff got defensive, argumentative, and disrespectful, and that's not cool. She's accused of making the pictures disappear.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says that she hired the defendant to take pictures for promotional purposes of her clothing line. She paid the money, but doesn't have the photos. Now, the defendant says, not the case. The plaintiff was supposed to give her photo credit on the picture she posted, didn't, and here they are. It's the case of photo finish.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Adara, Tigress of New York. You are suing Tigress of New York. You are suing Ms. Avi, who is a photographer, for $975 that you say you are out as a result of some nasty dealings you had with her. Tell me what happened.
Yes. So I found her, AB, on Instagram. She was having a special for a photo shoot called Vintage Souls or something. I gave her a down payment of $50 in September. It took some time to plan the shoot. We set the date for October 3rd. It was going to go through on October 3rd, but I think there was something with the weather. So I did end up paying her the rest of her deposit that day, but we didn't shoot until October 7th.
All right. And where did you shoot on October 7th?
In front of the Cotton Club in Harlem.
All right. And what was the purpose of the shoot? You needed pictures for what?
To promote the dress that I was wearing, I made. I was promoting the dress just as well as trying to get engagement up on social media. So photos for social media and my website.
For your business, which is what?
Tigress New York is my clothing brand.
A clothing brand. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was going to take pictures of you in the dress that you made so that you could post it on social media. All right. So, and you're going to pay her, or the $250 was the total for the first photo shoot. Then
Correct.
Apparently you had a second photo shoot later on in October, on October 23rd. How did that come about?
Correct. So after we wrapped shooting on the day of the first photo shoot, she let me know she was having another special in a couple weeks, 2 weeks. And if I would be interested. I think I hit her up maybe a week or so later to let her know I was interested. I don't think I made a down payment that day, but the date was the 23rd. I paid her on the 23rd before the shoot.
Now, that shoot was supposed to be inside of a studio, correct?
Correct.
From 12 to 3, but you got there at what time?
I got there, I'm not sure, but it was a little after 3.
Right, so studio time was over. What
Yeah.
time were you shooting to get there?
2,
Okay.
2:30. She said that she would have to be out the studio at 3.
All
But I
right.
didn't know that till about 1:46. You can see that in the messages I sent.
All right, so you get there and you decide, well, let's just do it outside, and you do some artsy pictures outside. So you get the pictures, and then all of a sudden, what happens? She sends you a separate email demanding what?
Well, for the second photo shoot, she sent a contract that said it had a bunch of stuff in the contract about how you were supposed to post the photos, what you were supposed to tag when you posted the photos. It was like a sentence that said like courtesy of a photo day or something like that, and that you needed to agree to it in order to receive the photos.
Okay, and did you have a problem with that?
I mean, by that point, I had already witnessed her doing some weird stuff on social media, and I didn't want to get into it with her. So I agreed just so I can get my photos, and I was never going to hire her again. So.
What was the weird stuff she had done on social media that had you already concerned?
On the day of the first photo shoot, I asked her how long it would take before I received the photos. She said it would be about 2 weeks. I waited a little over 2 weeks before I asked her about the photos. She said on that day that she would get them to me that day. I waited until the next day, quite late in the day. It was Halloween, actually. I still hadn't received the photo, so I hit her up and let her know, like, listen, today's Halloween. It's a good day to post to get my engagement up. Do you have anything ready that I could post? She had a little attitude. She was like, oh my God, I'll send you the photos. And then she went on her Instagram and posted that I need to have patience because it takes time to do what she does. So later on that night, she sent me the photos. I posted the photos on my Instagram. I tagged her in every photo that I posted. Yeah, and I'm sorry. What was the question after that?
And so when did you have a problem with her after that? She sends you the
okay.
She sends you the email saying you need to agree to tag me and tag me this way. And that email is when, in November?
That's in November. That was for the second photo shoot. She sent an email on the 31st with the first set of photos that just asked if you decide to post them just to tag her, which I did. About a month later, I think, I'm not sure the date, but it's like November 23rd or so, she sent me the rest of the first photo shoot, and then she sent me the contract for the second photo shoot. This is a couple days before Thanksgiving.
What do you mean? The second photo shoot was October 23rd. So what do you mean she sent you the contract for the second photo shoot? What does that mean?
She sent a contract. This is after the photo shoot, but before she sent me the photo, saying I needed to agree to it. In order
this is to agree to that you're going to tag a certain way and whatever else. That
exactly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you agree to it, and then you get the photos. And what do you download the photos into your computer?
Not from the second photo shoot. The first photo shoot, I didn't get a chance to. I saw them, but I didn't get a chance to download any of them from the first or the second one.
Okay.
That she
And
sent
so
in November.
what happens? You post a photo and you tag her correctly, and then what happens?
In the photo, I'm wearing sunglasses, like some shades that belong to another brand. So I tagged the brand as well because I'm wearing their glasses. I guess on that day, they decided to repost it, as well as another like Instagram user. The Instagram user tagged her, the brand didn't. So she got upset about that. She wrote me in the comments saying that I was in violation of a contract. And then she started
Wait,
DMing
how
me.
are you in violation of contract because someone else posted something?
Exactly. I let her know that too. I let her know that too, but she swore that it was, on me that someone else posted the photo and didn't tag her. But even
How are you going to stop? Like, how many followers do you have?
Not much, like 1,300.
Are you supposed to police 1,300 people and whether they repost your picture and where they repost it? And okay,
Absolutely.
I'm asking the wrong person. Avi, tell me what's going on. Like, what was your intent with this agreement on the posting and all that?
Do I get to present my case or?
Well, isn't that the crux of the issue? Do you want to just start from the beginning and tell me about the photo shoot? Because that's not really the issue.
Yeah, I'd like to start move all the way back to where she started. Okay, so,
but like we know what the issue is. The issue is so let's try to focus on that. But you go ahead. You do you, honey. Go ahead.
Okay, so the issue here is the fact that photos were used and posted without my permission.
Okay.
And also the fact that the photos were taken from her page and posted without a tag. And when I reached out to her and informed her, like, you have violated the contract because now someone else who did not pay for these photos is using them and posting them without crediting me, she took offense.
Okay.
I didn't want to go back and forth, so I just removed the photos from the folder that I shared with her. And there was an opportunity for me to resend them with the contract, but we didn't get to that point because she immediately started arguing with me.
Okay.
And also, a lot of the stuff she said was false. There was nothing, I didn't send them to her with an attitude. I sent them to her like, oh no, I need to send you these photos. So I sent them as soon as I possibly could because I was also juggling several other photo shoots. It was Halloween. I was doing other photo shoots. I had to get those edited. I was juggling a lot. So it's not like, and I'm not saying that's her responsibility, but I was letting her know, like, okay, I'm going to get them to you as soon as I can.
I'm kind of curious, the document that you send her and say, unless you agree to this, I won't give you your photos. Why doesn't that predate the photo shoot? Is it something that you came up with after the photo shoot? Because typically, the terms of a contract are already set by the time of the photo shoot, that people don't add another contingency to it.
The way I've been doing things is, they send the deposit, we have the photo shoot, and then I send the contract before they can get the photos.
Why don't you? But it seems kind of right. But why they should be made aware before they hire you of what your terms are. Before they hire you is when they should be made aware. But in any event, she agreed to it, so she's bound by it. What we're talking about is that she will not post the pictures without giving you courtesy of exactly the way you asked and tagged it. How can she control
what? That was for a specific studio day. She's talking about two different things. She's talking about a Vintage Soul special photo shoot that we did where I sent her before, like when I sent the images, within the link, within the email, you get the photos and you're notified that you have to give me photo credit.
Okay, no, that's fine. Did she not give you photo credit on her site? Tell me what the infringement was. In your opinion, the infringement was what? Did she not give you photo credit on her site?
She did.
Who didn't give you photo credit?
Someone else had access to the photos that they were not supposed to have access to.
What are you talking? I must be missing something. I must be missing something. If she posts something, I'm not really good at social media, but I think I've got this much. If I post something and someone else reposts it, they can repost all they want. How am I controlling what they repost?
No.
Okay.
No, it's the fact that only she is allowed access to the photos. That is the whole purpose of the contract.
But once you post it, if I post something on Instagram, can't someone else post that picture without my consent or knowledge?
No, which is why there's a copyright infringement option on Instagram.
Don't yell at me and explain it to me. How can they not do it?
I've been trying to explain this to you, and you have a really nice
I have an attitude. Let me tell you, between the three of us, the only one who can have an attitude is the one wearing the robe. You're not allowed to have an attitude in court.
Attitude at all. If you
this is an example of what I've been going through.
Why is there a case going on?
Will you explain to me how she can control what a third party does when they repost a picture?
She can't control what a third party does, which is why Instagram has a copyright infringement option where they will immediately remove the post from the person's page because my copyright has been infringed upon.
Okay, so how does Instagram find that out?
You make the report.
Who's you? You, the person who's
me,
right.
The owner of
so
the copyright.
Why don't you just make the report instead of deleting all her pictures? What control does she have?
I didn't delete her pictures. I removed her access to them until she was made aware of the contract.
I'm sorry. What did you want her to do? What did you want done? What was your goal, your end goal, when you removed the pictures until she was? What was your end goal? What did she do wrong?
I wanted her to be made aware that she is the only one who has access to the photos. And if anybody is going to post them, she needs to also alert them that you have to give photo credit.
How does she know what someone else reposts?
They tag her.
Okay, and when they tag her, she's supposed to do what? By the time they tag her, they have already neglected to tag you. So what exactly is she supposed to do? How can she be in control of what a third party does? She is in control only of violating your agreement with her. That third party doesn't have an agreement with you. Why don't you brand your photos and put your name on the bottom of it?
You're not even letting me speak. She has to alert them that they have to give photo credit to the person that took the photo. Yes, they tag her.
Wait. When do you expect her to alert them? After they have reposted it without giving you credit? Because she's given you credit. Then, unbeknownst to her, someone reposts them. They don't call her for permission or anything else. They tag her, which means she sees that they've posted it. All right. And then she's supposed to do what? Police every person who does that and say...
No, she isn't, which is why I then take control of the situation and remove the photos.
Why remove the photos? You think that the person who reposted the photos, just a second, they didn't get them from the folder you sent her. They got them from her post. Am I missing something? Just tell me if I'm missing something, Ms. Adara. I am giving you two choices, okay? I am interpreting this contract to mean as follows. You can never post something without giving her credit. You cannot control someone reposting your post. You are not in charge of policing. And the irony is, what did you do when she wigged out? What did you do?
I asked the brand to post her, and they had no problems posting her. They did it immediately.
Right. But she's still denying you your file as though you had given your file to the brand. You didn't give your file to the brand. They reposted the picture you posted. Okay?
Off Instagram.
Right. I'm not missing anything, right?
No.
Okay. All right.
This is an example of what I've been going through.
Okay, but where did you get her name?
Instagram.
Yeah, don't get recommendations. You have to talk to people who have dealt with people who can get, and even that sometimes doesn't work out. But you've got to get recommendations. It's word of mouth. People's reputations is word of mouth. So that's how you get somebody, not just these pictures are pretty. Come on.
No, I was trying to support other Black creatives, but I see that's just not
okay. But it's not about But please, I hate when I hear that too. It's still there's plenty of Black creative, and if you want to support Black creative, that's awesome. You just got to pick the right Black creative. You don't just pick at random. Just because she's Black, you have to pick because she's good Black creative, and you want to support Black business. That's great, but you've got to do it by word of mouth. Come on, you guys talk. Right?
You're right.
Everything's good, right? Like you talk, and then you get the good recommendation, right? Like you don't.
Yeah.
All right. So that's how you push your brand. Now, I'm going to give you a choice of one of two remedies, and then I'm going to tell you what I think you should do. Either I'm going to order her to refund your $400, refund your Uber costs, which are $186.12, not $175, and refund. I'm not going to have. It's too speculative that it's $400 for loss of opportunity. I'm not going to order that. So that means you would leave here with $586.12, and you can use that to have someone else take pictures where you're not going to have a problem all the time. I suggest you take what's behind curtain number 1. Because the other alternative is that I issue an order that says that you are allowed to use those photos so long as you abide by the agreement you have with her, but you have no control over what third parties do. Which would you prefer?
The first. I don't. I want to cut ties. I'm done.
I agree with you. I think that's the thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order the return of the $400 plus $186.12 for your Ubers for a total of $586.12. Retake the photos, and let me just suggest that you find somebody who is recommended to you as opposed to somebody that you just find on Instagram. That is not a good way to find people. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So, the judge has awarded the plaintiff $587 in this case. She prevails. The defendant, obviously upset, has left the courtroom in a huff. Let's ask the plaintiff now. You were given a choice between door 1 and door 2. You took door 1. So, the bottom line is, have you learned something from this experience? I would assume you have.
Just get recommendations first. Don't just, act off good faith and just want to support people. I need more than that.
Well, then this has been a valuable experience for you. Sorry it worked out this way, but good luck, okay? Hopefully
Thank you.
It'll be successful for you.
And I love you.
Welcome.
You're so shady. I love you.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, Doug, an important lesson. When you make a contract with somebody and there is an agreement, both sides agree on one set of facts. One party cannot, after the fact, alter the contract without the other person's consent. And usually that means both sides have to get something additional for that to be enforceable. But if you are in a contract with somebody and all of a sudden you say, oh my God, I can't do it, it's not fair, whatever, I'm going to change a certain term, you can't do that without the other person's permission. You're stuck.
Some states appoint their judges and other states elect their judges. Which is a better system? How do you get the fairest judges?
I don't think either system is better than the other. I think that they're both potentially fraught with problems. People often think, a lot of judges and a lot of lawyers think that the appointed system is necessarily a better idea because you get a better judiciary. I don't buy that. I think that that kind of depends on who's doing the appointing. Right? It depends. And when there's an appointed system, it's usually the governor of the state that ends up picking people, and oftentimes there's a judicial nominating committee that screens the applicants for the governor and then sends them up. But that can be a very political process, and so the people that are picked are the people who are the political favorites as opposed to necessarily the most qualified.
Elections are political process
Elections
too,
are
right?
intensely political process.
Some are partisan elections. Some states,
you got a good name, you got a terrible name.
Right.
You've got a Hispanic name in a predominantly Hispanic area. You've got whatever the demographic is. you've got an edge as opposed to someone who doesn't have the demographic. So they're both very flawed systems. I think that the best systems are a hybrid, which means that you can get there one of either of the two ways.
Right.
Because
Florida does that.
Florida does that, and I like that, because if you're someone who's not the flavor of the month and you're not going to get the appointment, then you can run.
You still have a path.
Right, you still have a path.
That's going to do it for us now, and we will see you for the next session of the People's Court.